그게 가장 아름다움으로 발현되는 것 같습니다. 우선 가장 지향하는 점이
Lovely viewers, gather around because today's story is one of the most emotional, heartfelt revelations you will ever hear. Imagine this: Lee Min-ho, the man we all know for his charisma, confidence, and grace, sits down for an interview, and instead of giving us the usual playful answers or promotional talk, he decides to open up about something so raw, so real, and so deeply personal that it shocks everyone. For the first time ever, he shares the truth about Song Hye Kyo's painful past, a part of her life that she kept hidden behind those perfect smiles and graceful appearances. And let me tell you, lovely viewers, what you're about to hear will not only break your heart but will also make you admire her strength even more. The interview started off normally. The host asked Lee Min-ho about his life after marriage, his upcoming projects, and of course, his happiness with Song Hye Kyo. He answered with that trademark smile, speaking lovingly about how blessed he feels every day. But then, when asked what makes Hye Kyo so special to him, his tone shifted. His smile softened, his eyes turned serious, and he said, "She's the strongest woman I've ever met. People think they know her, but they don't know what she's been through." At that moment, the entire studio went silent. Even the host looked stunned because you could feel something big was about to be revealed. Min-ho took a deep breath before continuing, and every word that came out next felt like a confession straight from his heart. "Before we got together, before the world started talking about us, Hye Kyo was carrying pain that most people couldn't even imagine. She has scars, not the kind you see, but the kind that never fully heal." Lovely viewers, can you feel that lump in your throat? Because I could barely hold back tears as he spoke. He went on to explain that during the early days of their relationship, it wasn't easy. Hye Kyo had built walls around her heart so high that even he, the man who captured millions of hearts, struggled to climb them. "She didn't trust easily," he said softly. "And it wasn't because she didn't want to love. It was because love had hurt her before, deeply." Fans are already speculating that he might have been referring to her very public divorce, but Min-ho didn't stop there. He revealed something even more heartbreaking. He shared that Hye Kyo went through years of silent battles, betrayals, loneliness, and even moments when she questioned her worth. "She told me once," he continued, "I used to smile in front of everyone, but I cried myself to sleep so many nights." Lovely viewers, let that sink in. The woman we always saw as this elegant, untouchable queen was suffering in silence. And the fact that she opened up to Min-ho about this shows how much trust and love she has for him. But here's the part that will melt your heart completely. Lee Min-ho didn't share this to make us pity her. He shared it to show us her strength. "Do you know what makes her amazing?" he asked during the interview. "It's that even after everything, she still believes in love. She still smiles. She still gives her heart fully. That's not weakness. That's the greatest strength I've ever seen in a person." And then he said something that sent chills down everyone's spine. "I promised myself I would never let her feel that kind of pain again. Not while I'm alive." Lovely viewers, can you even imagine hearing those words from the man she loves? The internet is already on fire with reactions. Fans are crying, posting things like, "This is why they're the ultimate couple," and "Lee Min-ho isn't just a husband. He's her protector." Some even wrote, "If this doesn't make you believe in true love, nothing will." And as if that wasn't enough, Min-ho went on to share one of the most intimate stories about their relationship, a moment that truly showed him the depth of her pain. He revealed that during one of their early dates, Hye Kyo suddenly broke down in tears when a love song started playing in the background. She said that song reminded her of a time when she lost faith in love, he explained. "And all I could do was hold her and promise her that I would rewrite that story with her." Lovely viewers, are you crying yet? Because I'm just typing this. But the most powerful part of the interview was when Min-ho spoke directly to the fans. "If you love her like I do," he said, looking straight into the camera, "then stop judging her for her past. Stop assuming things. She is not her pain. She is a warrior who deserves happiness." That line is already going viral, with fans calling it the most honorable thing any man could say about the woman he loves. And guess what? After the interview aired, Hye Kyo herself took to social media with a simple emotional message. "Thank you for loving me, even when I couldn't love myself." Can you imagine the impact of those words? Fans are flooding her post with millions of hearts, messages of support, and comments like, "You deserve every bit of happiness, Queen." Lovely viewers, this isn't just an interview. It's a love letter to strength, healing, and second chances. It's proof that no matter how broken you feel, the right person will never see you as damaged. They'll see you as precious. And that's exactly what Lee Min-ho sees in Hye Kyo. Let's go even deeper into this emotional revelation and uncover everything Lee Min-ho shared, and some things that insiders close to the couple have revealed since the interview aired. Buckle up, because what comes next will make you love and respect this couple even more than you already do. After that powerful statement where Min-ho told fans to stop judging her for her past, the atmosphere in the studio shifted completely. It wasn't just an interview anymore. It felt like a confession, a heartfelt message straight from a man who truly loves and protects the woman in his life. The host, clearly emotional, leaned forward and asked, "What was the hardest thing for her? The thing that broke her the most?" And lovely viewers, Min-ho hesitated for a moment, his jaw tightening as if he didn't want to reopen those wounds, but then he said softly, "It wasn't just one thing. It was years of people hurting her, people she trusted." He revealed that Hye Kyo's pain wasn't just about a broken marriage, though that was a big part of it. There were betrayals from people she considered friends, public scrutiny that was so harsh it left emotional scars, and constant pressure to be perfect when inside she was falling apart. "She told me once," Min-ho continued, "the world loved my smile, but no one asked if I was okay." Lovely viewers, doesn't that break your heart? Imagine carrying that kind of weight while the whole world thinks your life is flawless. He then shared a story that brought tears to everyone's eyes. Early in their relationship, Min-ho noticed something about her. She was always giving, always caring for others, but she never asked for anything in return. One night he asked her, "Why don't you ever ask me for anything?" And do you know what she said? "Because I'm afraid if I ask, I'll be a burden." Lovely viewers, take a deep breath, because that line hit like 1,000 knives. That's the level of hurt she carried, thinking her own needs would be too much for someone else to handle. But here's where the story takes a turn for the better. Min-ho didn't just sit back and let her struggle. He made it his mission to break down every wall she built around her heart. He said, "Every day, I reminded her that she deserves everything good in life. Every day, I told her she's not a burden, she's my reason." And then he added, "When she finally believed me, that was the day I knew she was mine forever." Lovely viewers, are you crying yet? Because that right there is what real love looks like. And it didn't happen overnight. Min-ho admitted that earning her trust was a slow process filled with patience and understanding. He said, "Some days she would smile like nothing was wrong, and then at night she would cry in my arms. And all I could do was hold her tighter and tell her that she's safe with me." That level of devotion is rare, and it shows just how deeply he loves her. Now let's talk about the darkest chapter she faced, something that Min-ho only hinted at, but insiders later confirmed. After her divorce, Hye Kyo reportedly fell into a deep period of isolation. She avoided the public, turned down major projects, and barely spoke to anyone except for a few close friends. One source said, "She stopped believing in love. She thought her happiness was over." Lovely viewers, can you imagine the woman who gave us so many unforgettable roles feeling like that? It's heartbreaking. But that's what makes this love story so inspiring, because Min-ho came into her life and changed everything. He revealed that during one of their most emotional conversations she confessed, "I was afraid to love again because I didn't think I deserved it." And his response, "You deserve more love than anyone I've ever met, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life proving it." That line right there is blowing up on social media, with fans calling it the ultimate definition of true love. Lovely viewers, do you know what else Min-ho shared? Something that made everyone in the studio gasp. He said, "There were times I almost walked away, not because I didn't love her, but because I was afraid I wasn't strong enough to heal her pain. But every time I looked at her, I knew I couldn't leave. I'd rather fight through the pain with her than live without her. Now tell me, who wouldn't want a love like that? Someone who chooses you even when it's hard, someone who stays even when it hurts. That's rare, and that's what makes this couple so extraordinary. After the interview aired, fans started sharing old clips of Hye Kyo during her most difficult years, realizing how much she hid behind her smile. People are now flooding social media with messages of support like, "Thank you for surviving, Queen," and "You're stronger than you know." And the best part, Min-ho is getting just as much praise for standing by her and loving her through it all. Some fans even wrote, "Lee Min-ho didn't just love her, he healed her." Lovely viewers, do you agree? But here's where it gets even more emotional. After the interview, Min-ho posted a photo on his social media, a simple picture of him holding Hye Kyo's hand with the caption, "No more pain, only love." That post has already broken records for the most liked couple photo this year. Fans can't stop commenting things like, "This is the real-life drama we all needed," and "Protect this couple at all costs." And what about Hye Kyo's reaction? Well, insiders say she was watching the interview live, and when Min-ho made that powerful statement about her strength, she broke down in tears. Later, she reportedly told friends, "I've never felt this safe in my entire life." Lovely viewers, doesn't that just make your heart swell with happiness for her? After everything she's been through, she finally found someone who doesn't just love her but truly understands her. Now here's the part that fans are buzzing about, the secret promise they made to each other during those dark times. According to someone very close to them, Min-ho promised her, "If you ever feel like giving up, just hold my hand. I'll never let go." And she promised him, "If you stay, I'll never stop loving you." These aren't just words. They're vows spoken long before the wedding, and that's why their bond feels so unbreakable. Lovely viewers, this isn't just a love story. It's a story of resilience, healing, and second chances. It's proof that even the most painful past can lead to the most beautiful future if the right person walks into your life. And now, the whole world knows why Lee Min-ho fights so hard for Song Hye Kyo, because she's not just the love of his life. She's the woman he vowed to protect from every storm. After the interview aired, rumors began circulating that there was something more behind Lee Min-ho's emotional statements, something he didn't fully share on camera. And guess what? Those rumors turned out to be true. According to an insider close to the couple, during the hardest part of their relationship, when Hye Kyo was still learning to trust again, they started writing letters to each other. Yes, handwritten letters. Something rare in today's digital world. And these weren't just sweet love notes. They were raw, vulnerable, and filled with emotions they couldn't always say out loud. One of Min-ho's letters reportedly said, "If I could take your pain away and carry it for you, I would do it without hesitation. But since I can't, I promise to be the shoulder you cry on, the hand you hold when you're scared, and the reason you smile when life feels heavy." Lovely viewers, can you even imagine receiving a letter like that? Fans are saying, "This man was born to love her," and honestly, I couldn't agree more. In response, Hye Kyo wrote something that broke everyone's heart when it leaked through a close friend. "I'm scared. I'm scared you'll see the broken parts of me and change your mind. But if you stay, if you really stay, I'll give you all that I have left." Reading that, doesn't it make you realize just how deep her wounds were? But also how brave she was to open up like that. That's the kind of honesty that can only exist in a love that's real. Now let's talk about those nights. Those long, emotional nights when Lee Min-ho stayed awake just to make sure she didn't feel alone. Insiders say that during the filming of one of his big projects, he would wrap up late at night, but before going home, he'd send her a simple message. "Are you okay?" And if she replied with even a hint of sadness, he'd show up at her door, no matter how exhausted he was. One source revealed that one night, he drove 3 hours after a shoot just to hold her because she said she was having a panic attack. Lovely viewers, tell me, how many people in this world would do that? That's not just love. That's devotion on another level. And do you know what he told her during those difficult nights? He said, "Your past doesn't scare me. Your tears don't push me away. If anything, they make me love you more because they show me how strong you've had to be. Fans are calling this line the most romantic thing ever said. And it's trending everywhere under the hashtag Minho protects Hye Kyo. Now here comes the part that truly gives me chills. The way he turned her pain into strength. Lee Min-ho didn't just comfort her. He encouraged her to reclaim herself. Insiders say he was the one who pushed her to accept major projects again, telling her, "The world doesn't deserve to miss out on your brilliance just because someone hurt you." And when she hesitated, afraid of public judgment, he said, "If anyone dares to hurt you again, they'll have to go through me first." Lovely viewers, are you falling in love with him all over again? Because the world definitely is. And guess what? There's more. Min-ho planned something extraordinary to help her heal from her darkest memories. According to sources before their wedding, he organized a private trip to a quiet coastal town where they spent an entire week disconnecting from the world. No cameras, no schedules, just the two of them walking on the beach, watching sunsets, and writing down their promises for the future in a shared journal. And in that journal, he wrote, "Every day I wake up next to you, I'll remind you that you are loved. Every night before you sleep, I'll remind you that you are safe. This is my lifetime promise." Lovely viewers, does that not sound like the most romantic, healing gesture ever? Fans are already calling this trip the rebirth of song Hye Kyo, because after that, everyone noticed a change in her. She started smiling more in public, posting pictures that radiated happiness, and even speaking openly about how grateful she was for the people who stayed by her side. And we all know who the main person was, Lee Min-ho. And just when you thought this couldn't get any more emotional, let me tell you about the secret promise they sealed during that trip. Insiders revealed that they stood barefoot on the sand one evening, looking at the stars, and Min-ho said, "From this day forward, there's no past, only us and our future." And she whispered back, "Then promise me you'll never leave, no matter what storms come." To which he replied, "I'm your shelter for life." Lovely viewers, that moment wasn't captured on camera, but it lives in their hearts, and now in ours. Fans all over the world are reacting with overwhelming love. People are making fan art of these quotes, writing letters to the couple, and even organizing global trends like hashtag Healing Love Story and hashtag Minhyo Forever Strong. Some fans are saying, "This isn't just gossip, this is a life lesson on love and loyalty." And honestly, they're absolutely right. Now here's what's going to blow your mind. According to sources close to the couple, Lee Min-ho is planning to share even more of their story in a documentary-style project. A personal look into their lives, their struggles, and their triumphs. Can you imagine seeing those handwritten letters, those beachside promises, and those late-night heart-to-hearts on screen? Lovely viewers, if this becomes real, it will be the most emotional project of the decade.